Hey there, everybody. It's Mrs. Bashman, and we're going to take a look at our next project together. You're going to go to our Google Classroom page, and you're going to download this worksheet here called Self-Portrait Collage Planning Sheet. That'll be a Google document. And then you're going to click on File, make a copy, and then rename it and put it in your Google folder, your Google Drive folder. That way, you'll have your own copy. And then you're going to put your name right here where it says your name. So as it says here, we're going to be creating a type of self-portrait collage. But instead of a traditional portrait, however, you're going to be using colors, textures, magazine images, text, fabric, photos, and a few special items from home instead of just paper. You may certainly include part of or all of your face or your body, but you don't have to, because it's not meant to be a realistic representation of your outer self, but more of a glimpse into your inner self. So what we're going to do on the first day, this is day one, which is today, we're going to be doing the planning, research, and inspiration part of this project. So you're going to use the chart below to brainstorm and reflect. The more prepared you are before you start making this collage, the better your finished product is going to be. So you want to answer as many of these questions as possible. If you really don't know at this point, just put that as your answer. 2 points each for each of these questions, 14 total. So here you have the question on the left, you have an example of a possible answer, and then you're going to put your answer here in the boxes on the right. Now I've given you 4 student examples as well as 4 artists that I want you to look at. And you will be assessed on whether or not you've looked at these examples or not. So here, the first example is by Brooke Renton, class of 2015. This is a self-portrait that she did in color pencil, watercolor, and watercolor pencil, as well as cut paper collage on a piece of Bristol board. This is about 16 by 20. She created the flower petals by curling them around a pencil and then attaching them, layering them and attaching them to the board to create these flower blossoms. The entire surface of her skin and the shirt, if you look very carefully, is done using text. So it's all written words with some line work overlaying it. Here on the right, you have a very small piece by Alexis Mancuso of the class of 2015 as well. She did a lot of collages. I picked this one because she used some interesting ways of attaching things to her surface. This was on a piece of, it was either canvas or canvas panel, I don't remember exactly which. She sewed a leaf to it because canvas, it's got to be canvas then because canvas panel is too thick to sew through. Because canvas is a cloth, you can stitch into it. You can also stitch onto paper as well if you have a sharp enough needle. So here she has stitched a leaf to the canvas. She has also used a stencil. If you look carefully down there at the bottom, you can see a stencil and paint design over top of tissue paper and patterns like sewing patterns, you know, those thin tissue sewing patterns that she's torn up, glued, and adhered to the surface, and a key as well as some yarn that she's adhered to the surface. She gave it all this kind of yellow ochre tinge with different earth-toned paints. So if we continue down here, we have an example by Macy Wang, class of 2019. Macy here layered magazine and newspaper images over a piece of cardboard. Then she applied watered down white paint to create kind of a background surface, but you can still see through the white paint. If you look carefully, you can see different text and images underneath. Then she applied more images and text and then painted the monkey on the top there, as well as the Chinese symbols and some of the designs on top of the image there. So she included text as well as imagery, and all of it had to do with the symbolism of the Chinese zodiac. She actually did a whole series on these. The last piece is by Savannah Smith, class of 2018. In this collage, she used a very minimalist approach, and if you look very carefully, you'll see that she used hole punched paper and also the hole punches. So all of the white pieces of paper that you see there have hole punches been taken out of them, and then she glued those as well as the things that were punched out onto black paper. So she's playing around with positive and negative space. The figure in the center is done in a similar way using cut paper as well as hole punched paper in a very limited palette. That means that she didn't use a whole lot of different colors. It's mostly just earth tones, pale and pastel earth tones. Okay, so I want you to look carefully at those examples above, and then I want you to look at these 4 artists that I've listed below. All of these 4 artists have different approaches, different styles of collage when it comes to portraiture. So I want you to look at all 4 of them. And then the last thing that you're going to do before you click on the link to take the Google form assessment is to research a collage artist that you like, or someone who does a collage method that you're interested in. So you will want to use a collage artist that is not one of the 4 that I have listed above here. So that is all that you're doing for the first day. Don't move on to day 2. Stop there. Go to our Google Classroom page and then take the assessment down here at the bottom under Google Forms. It's called the Self-Portrait Collage Research and Planning Assessment. And then that will be all that we will be doing for today. Okay, and if you have any questions and you'd like to talk to me or Ms. Saccone, remember that we're available every day from 12 to 1 if you have any questions. What was that? And if you can't make it during that time, you can go ahead and give us an email, let us know, and we will schedule something with you. I have a feeling there's something behind me. It's an excellent question. There is something behind me. It's the Easter Bunny. Other than that, y'all, have a good Easter break. All right, we miss you. We love you. And we hope to see you soon.